Okay, hi everyone. I continue the workbench, whatever we have discussed yesterday. So in the workbench, we have discussed about the info standard object, custom object, and then we have discussed metadata type components and the session information. So we have discussed all this. Now, asynchronous SOQL query. This asynchronous SOQL query feature is in case if there is a functionality is not enabled, we will get an error. The error which we have seen, right? So, but asynchronous SOQL this is included with the licensing. Additional licensing is required for this asynchronous SOQL query. In case if you want to use this in the real time, if you want to use this asynchronous SOQL query, we need to call the Salesforce support to add the license based on the discussion with the company. So the additional license is dealing with the big objects capacity, right? So basically, if I run this asynchronous, what will happen is the job gets executed at the backend. But in order to execute this, we need a licensing. Same within the real time. And next, SOSL. SOSL is basically, we know that SOQL it is going to give me the option to search single object details, Whereas SOSL is nothing but it's a search. SOSL is nothing but Salesforce Object Search Language. So if I click on this Salesforce Object Search Language, as it says, it's a search language. Salesforce Object Search Language. SOQL is Salesforce Object Query Language. SOSL is Salesforce Object Search Language. Right? So that is the example of both of them. That is the meaning of it. So basically Salesforce Object Query Language, that means I'm querying the data. I'm querying the data of single object. SOSL is nothing but I'm querying the data. I'm querying for the, basically it's like I'm searching for multiple records into the multiple object. Now, for example, here I have written the search. I wanted to search, let's say, Infosys. I wanted to search Infosys in all the fields. In all the fields or only in the name field. Only in the specific name field. And you want to return the object only from the account. Only from the account. Or let's say that, no, I wanted every object it should cross-verify the name field. For all the field it should verify. All the fields it should verify. So basically you have an option here, find, searching for a Infosys, all the fields, and this is the one. And it return the account object. If I go to the account object, view in Salesforce, it is going to give me the details of that record. Now this is the account record and here is the account name. It says Infosys Company. Infosys Company. So wherever the Infosys is there inside the organization, all the records it is going to display. All the records it is going to display. Now if I open the contact, view in contact, so it has all the fields. Basically, account name is Infosys Company. Now, if you say only the name, if I say only the name field, search for only name field, find Infosys in name field. If I say wherever the Infosys keyword is there in the name, Wherever the Infosys keyword is there in the name, only give me those records. Or else if you wanted to see only in the account object, you can search only in the account object. It will give you only the account object. So basically you are searching the text, you are searching the Infosys text in the name field and returning the account object. Only from the account object we are returning. So that's about the SOSL search. So SOSL is always starts with find. SOSL is always starts with find. Find, then you need to specify the whatever the text is there, right? You need to specify the text. In name fields, you can write in the name fields. Take a notes of it. SOQL, Salesforce, object, query, language, SOSL, Salesforce, object, search, language. Now, for SOSL, how we write it? For SOQL, how we write it? We have to specify. It starts with SOQL, start with select, and then fields name. Whatever the API field name is there, the API field name. And then from whatever the object name is, object name, object name, object API name. So how we are going to write it? Select example, select ID, comma name, comma rating from account. This is example. And another example is select ID, comma name from hiring manager. This is normal example. And this is a syntax. Similarly for SOSL syntax. Syntax is it starts with a find keyword. Find, then you need to mention the text. Text, search text name. Which one you wanted to search? Search text name. And you wanted to search in all the fields, then you can return in all fields. Right, this is one syntax. Another syntax is find, search, text name. Now, this is all the fields. All the fields is basically I'm selecting here all the fields and this is none. Now, in that case, it is going to give me everything. In case if I specify here returning object, all fields only in the account, all fields only in the account, then what will happen? It will return the, now your query is going to change in all fields, then it is going to add the returning object name, object API name, object API name, find search text in all fields, returning object API name. Returning object API name. This is the one. In case if you wanted to, instead of all search, in case if you wanted to search only in the name field, only in the name field. Now I do not want to search in the all the fields. Now I wanted to search only in the name field. then you can specify name. In case if you wanted to search phone field, you can search it only email, right? So we have it only those options. And here instead of all, now I wanted to search only in the name field. Okay. Field. So these are the three different syntaxes we have. Now let's see the example for the first one. Example is find. Now here you are going to specify the search Infosys in all fields, or else you are going to just specify the find Infosys in name field. Okay. And then we have a find search find Infosys in all the fields returning account. Now here we can give a name, phone, email. Those are the options which are available here. Name, phone, email. We have a name, phone, email. Three options are there. Or else you can use like this all fields. Now in case if you want to add a limit, I just need only one record. Maximum one record. Then it will add limit 1. At the end, it will add a limit 1. Now this is about the SOS. Right, streaming push topic, which is not required. This is not required right now. Now next one, I'm going with the data. Inside the data, we have a insert, update, upsert, write, delete, undelete, purge. So today topic is DataLoader. So we are going to mostly concentrate on the data. Mostly concentrate on the data part, which is available insert, update, upsert, delete, undelete, purge. DataLoader have an option insert. Insert is nothing but creating a record in Salesforce or update is nothing but updating the existing record in Salesforce. Upsert is nothing but either creating or updating the record inside the Salesforce. And then delete. Delete is where it is going to delete the record. Delete record in Salesforce. Next one we have a undelete. Right? Delete, undelete, and purge. Undelete is nothing but roll back the or restore deleted records in Salesforce. And the purge is nothing but where you are merging, like combining the data. Records inside the Salesforce or take a note. See. Done. Basically, what we are going to do is so here we have a Salesforce. In the Salesforce, we have so many objects are there. In the Salesforce, there are so many objects are there. Now in Salesforce, if I wanted to create a record, what we will do, we will click on a new button. We will click on a new button and then we will try to click on a new button and enter the details. Then we'll click on the save button. Now, once I click on the save button, then I can see in the details section, the record gets created and I can view the data. Now, for example, without clicking on the new button, I wanted to create the records. That means I have a file in local system. This is a local system. That means in the Windows local system. In the local system, I have a file and this file is containing some information. It has a header, some header information is there, ID, name, rating, and the phone number. Some CSV file is there. In local system, I have a CSV file and this CSV file is containing the few data, including the header name. There is a header name on it. Including the header name, we have a information. Now here we have a ID and the name, phone number, rating. This is a CSV file which is having. Now in this CSV file, we have a few details like Neeraj and some phone number here. Rating is warm. Say Jyoti. And some phone number here. And rating is warm. Like that, I have a few records. Like this, I have a few records. Assume that ID is not there. We don't know what is the ID here. So ID is not there. Now this is the file which is containing in the local system CSV file. From the local system, we have to push the data to the Salesforce. I have to push the data to the Salesforce so that what will happen, Salesforce will take the file from the local system and whatever the columns are there, each column will be mapping, like name has to map with name and the phone number has to map with phone and rating has to map with rating. Then insert the data. Now, in order to insert the data, in between, we need some kind of a tool. We need some tool. That tool is going to help us to identify to pushing the data. This tool is going to help us to pushing the data. Now this tool is DataLoader. Could be a workbench or could be a DataLoader. Workbench or DataLoader. So what will happen in this workbench or DataLoader? We are going to map. There is a map which is going to happen. Now this is this side, what are the CSV file is there, and this is a Salesforce file. This is Salesforce file. In this, what are the CSV file? The data is there. Name. Name is mapping with Salesforce name. Right? This is the Salesforce API field, Salesforce. API fields. And here it is. This is the local system CSV file. CSV file. So name, we have a name in CSV file, and then we have a phone number, and then rating. Similarly, in the Salesforce object, so many fields are there, but I'm just going to take right now phone, rating, and let's say we have a few more industry is there. Industry, few more other things are there, fields in the Salesforce. Now, what DataLoader will do is DataLoader is going to get the file from the CSV. That means we need to provide the CSV file which we wanted to upload, give it to the DataLoader. In the DataLoader, we have to map it. This is called map. This is called map. We need to map it. So CSV file of name should map with Salesforce API name called name. CSV phone number has to map with Salesforce API field called phone. And the rating has to be mapped with Salesforce rating. Now in the Salesforce, there are so many fields are there. We can ignore it because CSV file does not have it. Because CSV file does not have it. So when the CSV file does not have the data, you can leave those values. Right? Whatever the mapping data is there, that mapping data, only the data will be stored into the mapping. Whatever the empty are there, those data will not be updated or stored or created. Now, once this mapping is done, this mapping we will be doing in the DataLoader or a work page. Then we will be pushing the data to the Salesforce. Then data will be pushing to the Salesforce. Now, what are the value is available in the name? It is going to push to the name field, and what are the value is available, it is going to push to the phone field, and what are the rating value is available, it is going to push to the rating value. Now rest of the data will be empty. Now this is how we will be doing it right now. Now first what I'll be doing is, in the data we have a insert, update, right, and then upsert and delete. These are the things are there. To insert. If you wanted to insert, now you can click on the any file. But before inserting it, you need to have a CSV file in my local system. I need to have a CSV file in my local system. Now what I'll do is, right now, we are going to use the DataLoader because I need to export the data. You cannot export the data using the workbench. Using the workbench, we cannot export the data. Now let's go ahead and see the DataLoader. Now I'm going to open the DataLoader, double click on this. Open the data, this is how the screen is going to visible. This is the screen how it is going to visible. Now here we have a few additional options are there. In workbench, we have an insert, update, upsert, delete is there. Right? But here I also have an export all. Export is nothing but I'm exporting everything that is available inside the Salesforce. Export all is nothing but including the deleted records. Including the deleted records, we are going to export it. Including the deleted records, we are going to export it. Now, as soon as it is done, now here we have a few options. File, setting, view, help. File is the same thing, whatever is available, you can see in the file. File, insert, update, upsert, delete, export, export all, log out, exit. That is the file. Now next one is a setting. In this setting, now whatever the options we have seen in the workbench, almost same options will be available, like a time zone, right? And additional things which is here you can see in the setting is, what is the batch size? If you are executing the DataLoader, do you want to have a batch size of 200? Maximum is a 200 batch size. And do you want to execute one batch size or a two batch size? You can give any number before the less than 200. Now, do you want to include the null values also? Do you want to insert null values also? In case if there is no value in the CSV file. Now, do you want to insert that record also? In that case, you can select here null values. Assignment rule. Now this assignment rule is if you want to execute any assignment rule, then you have to hard code the ID here. Now, what is the host that you are connecting it? What is the host you are connecting it? Or if you wanted to place any default or that every time you wanted to connect. So I wanted to connect the Samskar ID 13. This is current org which we are in. Now this is the default org. Now similarly, timeout is the 540 seconds and query request size is 500, right? And then few more options are there. Now, if you wanted to allow the comma as a CSV delimiter. Now, in the CSV delimiter, we have a comma separated. Also, we have a tab separated for them. Or if you have a other characters, you can use the other character. If you have a other character instead of comma, you need to specify that character details here. You need to specify the character details. Now, if you want to go with the use bulk API, you can use the use bulk API, or if you want to enable the serial mode for the bulk API, you can enable the serial mode of the bulk API. Now, this is basically it is going to execute as a bulk. It is going to execute as a bulk. Now, in case if you wanted to go for a upload bulk API batch size, if you want to go with this, you can upload it. So these are the couple of options available. Now in the DataLoader, we have done with DataLoader is the on-premise tool provided by the Salesforce, right? So Salesforce also provided the documentation, and DataLoader allows process maximum of 5 million records at a time. It is going to allow 5 million records at a time. And DataLoader accepts only the CSV file. You cannot provide any other file. You cannot provide any other file, and it accepts only the 5 million records. And DataLoader has an option of both import and export. Whereas Workbench only import is available. Only import is available. Now, after performing the operation, there will be a 2 files get generated. Once you are done with the DataLoader, you will see there is a 2 files generated in your system. In your system, there are 2 files are generated. One is a success file and another one is the error file. Success file is what are the record that is successfully processed and created inside the Salesforce. Those data will be available in the success file. Error file is nothing but in case while processing it, in case there is any error, then in that case we will be capturing the error information in the error. Take a notes of it. Done. Now, DataLoader requires the installation, which we have already installed. If you have a Windows, you can go for a Windows. If it is a Mac option is also available. But before installing the DataLoader, we have to install the Zulu, which is a JRE. We need to install it. So once we install the OpenJDK, so JDK will assume is going to give you this option. So you just need to click on the next button and click on the next button, click on the finish, install, and then finish. So once that JDK is done, now DataLoader, you need to download it either from the setup menu. If you search in the setup menu, there is an option called DataLoader. There is an option called DataLoader. Setup. Now, right, DataLoader. Right, we have a DataLoader option is available. Download it or go to the developer guide, so which will going to guide you. So that is the option. By clicking on this developer guide, you can review the what is the step-by-step installation in the developer guide. Right, so right click on this. What are the installation is there? You just need to right click on this, extract all, and click on the next button. And there is a new folder will be created, DataLoader. Now, once that DataLoader is created, then you need to click on the install.bat. So execute the batch file. So once it is executed the batch file, in case if you are receiving this error, this warning message, just say that run anyway. Right, initially you will receive like this. Click on this more info. If you click on the more info, it will display the run anyway. So just say that run anyway. And then this is the, once it is executed, now you have an option that you can open up the DataLoader. Now, once you click on that DataLoader, if you want to create a shortcut, you can also create a shortcut of it. Shortcut of it. Right, so once it is available on the desktop, what you can do is you can create a, you can use this. This is how the screen will be displayed. Whenever, every time, whenever you click on the DataLoader, back in the command prompt will be executed. Why this command prompt is getting executed? Because at the back end, what is happening here, workbench, right? This workbench or a DataLoader. DataLoader is Salesforce is providing it, but you are installing on your system. You are installing on your system. So it is not on the cloud. Salesforce is on the cloud. You have a local system CSV file, but you have installed the DataLoader on your desktop. From the DataLoader, if you want to connect to the Salesforce, you need some kind of a integration that needs to be implemented. Integration that needs to be implemented using DataLoader and the Salesforce. In between these two, there has to be some integration has to be implemented. There has to be integration has to be implemented. Now, this integration, how can I implement it? There is some backend, some logic might have written, logic they have written in the Java. Logic is written in the Java. DataLoader background. We are able to see the user interface, but what is the code is written at the backend is some Java, JavaScript, PHP, right? These are the languages they have used to implement the backend logic. Now, in order to execute this connection, I need a JDK. I need a JDK because JDK is the one which is going to, from using the JDK libraries, everything we are going to use it at the backend. By using that, it is going to connect the Salesforce, not only the Salesforce, you can connect to the any other. But right now, as in that Salesforce, we can connect the Salesforce and there has to be integration. So as soon as I click on a next button or a finish button in the DataLoader, then immediately it is going to hit the JDK that is available inside the system. Now it is going to hit this JDK and execute the few libraries of the JDK and then execute of whatever the logic is written at the back end of the DataLoader. It will execute it and then connect to the Salesforce. Connect to the Salesforce. Now these all things are happening. So that's the reason whenever you are running the DataLoader, you will see there is a command prompt that gets executed. command prompt that gets executed. Initially, you will see here is the one. What is happening here? It is executing everything. Config.java 1465, config.java, last run. These all are executing at the backend. There is some JavaScript is running at the backend or JDK is running at the backend. In order to execute the Java, we need a JDK application installed in our system. Otherwise, this will not work. So this is dependent on the JDK. So that's the reason you will see there is a backend, the logic gets executed here. So it says the log has been initiated. Config directory already existing in the config, looking for the file config path. So this is the path. Use the config found. Now this is like this, it is going to give you. That means at the backend, there is a logic that is getting executed, telling that now you are ready to go for it and import it. Now this is the option which is available. Now what we will do is let's go ahead. Now let me ping you this head link. I'll ping you the later. Now once we have installed, so in the DataLoader setting, we need to enable the bulk API. So bulk API is a optimized to load the delete a large number of record asynchronous. And if you enable the bulk API, what will happen is your DataLoader will be faster than the SOAP-based API. And by default, DataLoader uses the SOAP-based API to process the records. Now insert null. Now if you have to check this. So few settings which we need to do in the DataLoader. One is the enable bulk API, insert null values, allow field truncation. Now insert null values. This option is enabled in the DataLoader to insert the blank values. What are the blank values are there? If you wanted to insert, then just make sure that enable this. Allow the field truncation. In case if you have a text you have in the CSV file, the longer text is there. But if you wanted to truncate it, then you can use the allow field truncation. And similarly, we have a enable series mode for a bulk API. So these options which we need to enable. So right now I have enabled the use bulk API, enable series mode for a bulk API. Now if you want to enable this, you can enable this also, but right now it is connected. This is the setting. I'm done. Now if I click on this export, I wanted to do the export. If I wanted to do the export, click on the export. It is going to ask you the two type of authentication. One is a OR, another one is a password authentication. One is OR and another one is password authentication. Now here the first one is a OR. First one is OR. OR is basically when you click on this OR, select this OR and click on the login button. Now what will happen? It will ask you to enter the authentication details like access token, all those details it will ask you. Now if you say password authentication, if you select password authentication, in this approach, developer has to log in with the Salesforce account credentials with the security token. Now let me show you that. Now here the authentic OAuth is there. Now if I click on this, it is going to ask you the information. When I click on OAuth, this 8-digit is automatically taken by the Salesforce. Now this is don't change anything on this. On connect. It says that April@gmail.com is this the one that you are looking for it? Yes, Samskar IT 13, that is the one. Click on allow. Now let's say here click on the continue. Once I click on the continue, now it is connected to the Samskar IT 13. And if I go back to the DataLoader, successful. Login successful and it is redirected to the step 2. Now, in case if you have selected the password authentication, in case if you have selected the password authentication, now it is you have to enter the information of your username, password. Along with that, you need to specify the security token. Now, security token, how can you get it? So you need to click on the setup. Let me show you that. Now here you have a Salesforce off. Now click on here your profile. Click on your settings. Now here you have it. Reset my security token. Reset my security token. So navigation is setup, profile, settings, and then search for a reset my security token. If you already have a security token, then fine, it will be there in your email. In case if you do not have, click on this reset my security token. If you click on this reset my security token, now again click on this button. There is a one email will be sent out to your email. Whatever the all email ID is there will be a one email which you will receive it. In that email, there is a security token is mentioned. Copy that security token. And then you have to use in the password plus security token to log into the DataLoader. Take a notes of this. Sharon, is that clear? Your question, Azul? Taking the notes of it. When you are clicking on this password authentication, when you select password authentication here, when you select it, it will ask you the username and password. Right? When you are entering the username password, while entering the password, you need to use the password plus security token. You need to plus a security token, but I would suggest do not go with the security token, just use the OAuth. Once it is connected, now why do we need a security token? Because Salesforce password authentication. So we have two options, OAuth and password authentication. OAuth is automatically it is connecting to the Salesforce with the authentication. It is backend, there is the authentication which is happening. But if you enter the password, username and password along with the password, it will also ask the security token. Now security token is going to give you the information of some keywords like I'm connecting to this particular org. Now you will receive an email. So like this, there is in the Salesforce, it says that check your email. So in the email, you will receive this kind of an email and there is a security token. Case sensitive security token will be there. Case sensitive security token will be there. So you need to copy this highlighted one, whatever the security token is here. Now copy that. You need to combine with the password plus security token. Now let's click on the export. When I click on the export, I have already clicked on the export and we have connected to the OAuth. Once we are done, now here I have an option. Step 2. In the step 2, what it is saying that query requires the size of 500. Current API usage for this org is 50. Current usage for this API is 50. And API limit is 15,000. API limit for this org is 15,000. Now, based on your org, if it is a developer addition, these are the limits for the Gartner limits. If it is the unlimited addition, then it is going to show you the differently. So based on your Salesforce org information or Salesforce addition, based on your Salesforce addition, on top it is going to show you some kind of a Gartner limits. What are the Gartner limits are available? Now at the bottom we have either you wanted to see all the objects which are available in the Salesforce, including the hidden objects, right? If you check this, now there are few records like before the account, you see that these are the hidden objects. Now, if you want to see only the one which is actual one, then you can unselect it and choose this. I have an account object. Or let's take a custom object hiring manager. I have a hiring manager. Now, what I am doing I'm doing the export. Here, I am doing the export. Export is nothing but from the Salesforce, we are going to export the data. Right now, I'm going to export the data. So this is the Salesforce. From the Salesforce, I'm going to export the data to the from the Salesforce, I'm going to export the data to the local CSV file. This is local CSV file. I'm going to export it. Right, hiring manager, click on the next button. The file name, if you want this one or a different file name, I'm just giving the extract.csv. Extract.csv. Click on the next button. Once I click on the next button, the third step. This is the step 3. In the step 3, it is going to ask you you have selected the object in the step 2. What are the fields that you wanted to select in that object? Now, this is similarly whatever we have seen in the workbench. Now, this is I need a city name. I need a contact number. City name, I do not need it. Now, I need a contact number, current CTC, designation, email address. Right? If you want, you can collect the ID also. Right, and then location, I wanted to collect the location, name of it. Now these are the information. As soon as I selected, what it is saying that it is giving me the SOQL query. It is giving me the SOQL query. Now this is field selection from the DataLoader. Create the where class if you want a where class. Now where, if you want to specify the field name, let's say field name is equal to, I wanted to choose only the location equal to Hyderabad. I wanted to choose the location equal to Hyderabad. Add the condition. Now it is going to add the condition pair. That means export the data now in Salesforce. In Salesforce, we have a hiring manager record. In this hiring manager record, I have so many records are there. I have so many records are there. In this so many records, for example, here I have around 9 records are there. I have 9 records are there. Now this is the hiring manager record. Hiring manager record. Now in this hiring manager record, we have 9 records. This is inside the Salesforce. Now out of this 9 records, what I need is, I wanted to capture only the record. I wanted to capture out of these 9 records. I do not want to capture all the information. Wherever the location is equal to Hyderabad, wherever the location is equal to Hyderabad, only that part that records I wanted to export it. Right? Only that records I wanted to export it. Wherever the location is Hyderabad, for example, out of 9 records, first record is a Hyderabad location and then 5th record is Hyderabad location. Now I wanted to capture only those 2 records and then export it to the local system. Export it to the local system. This is the local system. Now in order to export, who is helping here? Here we have something called DataLoader. Here we have a DataLoader. So using the DataLoader, I'm exporting the data to the local system. Now that's this condition. Whatever the where condition is there, that is what this where condition. Select contact, current CTC, designation, email, account, location, name from the hiring manager. From the hiring manager table, where location equal to Hyderabad, where the location equal to Hyderabad. Now click on the done. Now click on finish. Click on the finish method. 3 steps we have it in the export. Now when I click on the finish, now it is going to give me the alert message. You have chosen perform the export. Click yes to. Do you want to proceed? Now if you want to know, I do not proceeded, I wanted to check the previous record. Where is the CSV file is stored? Now I can go back to the previous. My CSV file is stored inside the downloads and there is an output folder is there. Inside this output folder, now inside the downloads. Right, so what I'll do is output. Now these records I'm going to delete it. These are the yesterday's records. I'm going to delete it. So in this, I'm going to save the extract.csv. Now that is the extract.csv. Now it came back to the, again, step 3. Whatever I have, the same query is available. Now I'll click on finish. Now I'll say here, yes, go ahead. Now it means operation is in progress. Operation is in progress. Now it is executing at the back end. Is executing at the back end in order to perform. There are 5 successful. Out of 9, 5 records have a successful records and 0 errors. Now if you wanted to see the view extraction, click on this view extraction. Now it is going to give you the information. Now these are the 5 records. All of them are location Hyderabad and these are the records. Right? Now that is 5 successful record and 0 errors. If the 0 errors also, I can see that there is a extract file is created here. Now this is the extract file. This is the extract file which is created. This is the extract file which is created, and then today there is a success file is created. Success file is created. Open the file location. Let's click on again export. I'm exporting it. Now this time I'm going to do the account. Right? Account I'm selecting it. Browse. This is the one. Now let's say here extract account. Account. Click on save. And then click on the next button. It is have so many fields are there. Let's say I want the active and then name. Let's take the name, and I have a rating. Let's take the rating, and then industry. Perfect. These all information I needed. I'm not putting anywhere condition. I'm going to export it. Click on it, finish. Are you sure you wanted to export it? Yes, I wanted to export it. Extracting the file, and the 49 records are extracted. Now, if you wanted to view here it is. These are the records which are exported. If you want to open the external program, you can open the external program. Opening external program. But usually there is a two files which are saved. 49 records. Click on OK. So like this, it will be created. Success and error message. Success and error message. These are the records which will be displayed. Now, we have a file that I have exported. The file which is available inside the downloads and the output file. We have a extract is the one which is available. Extract is the one which is available. Now here this extract, what I'm going to do is, let's open this extract file. Now this is the file I exported from the Salesforce. Let's change the name of this. Let's change the name of it, or let's say that I'm going to create a new record. And say here, this is the contact number. I'll keep the same contact number, HR manager, Samskar ID, Hyderabad, and let's say here, Shrivan. I'm changing the, for example, this is a new record I wanted to insert inside the Salesforce. This is the new record which I wanted to insert in the Salesforce. Click on Save As. Output. I'm saving the file. Right, this is the extract. Insert. I'm going to insert. That means I'm going to create this record in the Salesforce. Create this record in Salesforce. I have a extract underscore insert. Extract underscore insert is there. Now I'm going to insert it. I'm going to insert this record inside the Salesforce. In order to insert, I'll click on this insert button. I'll click on the insert button. Which record am I inserting from which object? Hiring manager record which I'm inserting it. What is the file that you wanted to send it? Extract underscore insert, because there is a one record which is available. That record I wanted to insert. Click on the next button. Now it is just giving me the batch size, start of the row, 0, current API, usage for the org is 64, API limit is 15,000, API version is 58, click on OK. Now the next one is a mapping. For export, mapping is not required. For export, mapping is not required. You can directly export it. But whenever you are inserting from the local CSV file to the Salesforce, when you are inserting from the local CSV file to the Salesforce, that time the mapping is required. That time the mapping is required. Now here we have a options. Here we have a options. Now on top there are two buttons are available. Choose an existing map, choose a create or edit view. Now, if you want to choose the existing map, click on this, choose the existing map. If you have already stored somewhere the mapping, then you can choose it. Or if you do not have a stored mapping, then what you can do is create or edit map. Create or edit map. Now, when you click on this create or edit map, it will open up another window. Now here we have a clear mapping or auto match fields. Now if you click on auto match fields, automatically based on this API name, it is going to match with Salesforce, right? So this side is I have a local CSV file and this side is Salesforce API fields. Salesforce API fields. Now local CSV file is mapping with location. Now this is also mapping with Salesforce API. This is also mapping with email address. This is also mapping with designation. And the current CTC is also mapping. Name is also mapping. And this is the auto field, auto match field columns. In case if system is not able to identify, in case DataLoader is not able to identify the auto matching, then you need to what you have to do. For example, this is not matched. This is, let's say, clear mapping. Now here, assume that it did not find the auto match. So what you can do, current CTC or location. Location is where it is. This is the location. Highlight this, drag it and place it onto the here. Similarly, contact number, highlight this, click on this and drag it onto the contact number. Like this, you need to drag it. You need to drag it. And then either if you want to save a mapping, this cannot be zoomed. Either you have to save a mapping or else not be zoomed. Are you guys able to see? Now, so here auto match is nothing but automatically it maps. Now let's say here I am clicking on the clear button. When I say clear, everything will go away. If I click on the auto match, automatically whatever the CSV file is there, local CSV file, it is saying that CSV column header. This is CSV column header and this side it is a Salesforce object API name. This is Salesforce object API name. Now, if I say auto match, what are the Salesforce object API names are there will be matching with CSV file column header. CSV file column header. Now, I can click on this save mapping. If you wanted to use it for further, now let's say this is the hiring manager, click on a save. I wanted to save the mapping. I wanted to save the mapping. Once it is saved, there is a file that gets created here, hiring.sdl. Hiring.sdl. Click on this next. Now it is asking that where do you want to store the output? Where do you want to store the output? What are the output is there? Where do you want to store it? Now let's say I'm going to store the output. Let's click on this new folder result. Whatever the result is there, I'm going to store it into the result. Now click on this browse. I'm choosing the result. Select folder. Now click on it, finish method. Yes, I wanted to process it. One record is successful, insert 0 records. Right, if you see view success, now it says that Srivalli record is created in the Salesforce. Now the result, now go to the result. In the result, there are two files are created. Success file and then error file. Success file and then error file. You have two files that are created. This is a success file and this is the error file. Now this is success file. Click on the success file. In the success file, what will happen? It is going to tell you the information that, now click on this. Now it is going to tell you what is the ID that it is created. What is the ID it is created? What is the contact number, current CTC, designation, email address, and finally it says status is item is created. It will say item is created. That means this record is created. Now, once it is created, it will update the ID in the success file. ID in the success file. Now, if there are any errors, while performing it from the data loader, what will happen is it will capture the error details and it will be stored into the error. It will be stored into the error. If there are any errors, like because of validation rule or a trigger or some mandatory information is missing, mandatory data we are not passing it. In that case, what we will say, there is an error. Now those errors will be captured in the error file. Those files will be captured in the error file. Now this is the one. Now let's go ahead and check in the Salesforce. Salesforce whether the hiring manager record is created or not. The Srivalli record is created. It is created today only. 1607 911. 1607 911. That is a record. For example, now I wanted to update the phone number. That means whatever the CSV file is there. Now this is the now we have a CSV file which is a extract insert. Now this one, what I wanted to update the file. I wanted to update the phone number. What are the contact number is there? I wanted to update the contact number. Let's say this is by mistake and we have entered 5. It should be 3. And current CTC has to be a 30 lakhs. Now this is the data which we need to update. Along with the update, I also want to create one more record. That means first record is I wanted to update. Second record is I wanted to create a new record. Let's say Charan. And Charan phone number is this record is whatever the second record is there. This one is I wanted to update it, and this one I wanted to create inside the Salesforce. Do I have a Charan record inside the Salesforce? Charan record is not there. Let's go ahead and see all the records. Charan record is not there. No, fine. Now this record is I wanted to update because Srivalli is already there in the hiring manager, right? I wanted to update the phone number. And this third one is this record. What are the second record is there? That second record I wanted to create it. So in this file, I have a update, I have a insert. Both the things are there. When you have a file which you wanted to update the record as well as you wanted to create a record, update a record as well as you wanted to create a record. When you have a those combination, you have to use the concept called Upsert. You have a concept called Upsert. This now I have created a file which is called Upsert. Right? We have a file called Upsert is there. Now if I go to the data loader, close this, cancel. Okay. Now we have an option called Upsert. Now, insert is you are creating a record from the local system to the Salesforce. Update is you are just updating the record. Now, export is nothing but you are exporting the records from the Salesforce. Export all is nothing but you are exporting all the records, including the deleted records also, you are exporting it. Now, for example, I wanted to use right now Upsert. Upsert is nothing but possible that there is a Upsert is basically it's a combination of update plus insert. Update plus insert. If you have this combination in your Salesforce, in your CSV file, if you have a combination of update and insert, in that case, what we have to do is we have to use the Upsert. We have to use the Upsert. And click on this Upsert. Once you click on this Upsert, it is going to ask you that which object you wanted to use. Now this is the object. What is the file that you wanted to upsert? My file is extract underscore upsert. Click on OK. Now, when we are upserting it, it is going to ask you, do you wanted to match it using the ID or do you wanted to match it using the name? That means if I am updating a record in Salesforce, if I am updating a record in Salesforce, two things which how DataLoader is going to identify which record to be updated, either by using the ID or either by using the name. So it is asking that how do you want me to find the matching record based on the ID or based on the name? Let's say based on the ID, match the record. That means CSV file, whatever the file is available. Now in the CSV file, do I have a ID? Now ID is not there. Now I need to add the ID because I'm updating the Srivalli record. Now let's go ahead and get it from the CSV file. Result, success file. In the success file, I have an ID of the Srivalli. Whenever the record is created, there is an ID is created. Now I'm going to copy this and I'll add here ID. Now this is Srivalli's ID and Charan does not have it, where we are creating the new record. Now click on this, save. Now let's go back again, choose the browse file, extract upsert. Let's close all the CSV files. Upsert, click on the next button, OK. Now file, I'm going to find it the matching record based on the ID. Click on the next button. Now here, if you want to choose the existing one, you can click on this, choose the existing one. Last time we have used the hiring.sdl. Last time we have saved this file. Click on this hiring.sdl, click on the open. Right, so that's how it is going to, you can choose the existing file. Click on the next button. Now the output is going to store it into the result. Output is going to store it into the result. And then click on a finish method. As soon as I click on a finish method, there are two files are created, right? Now it is click on the next button. And it says that 2 records are successful, 0 errors. Right? This is the view success. Created and item created. Now, if I go to the Salesforce, let's refresh the Srivalli record. Srivalli record is updated, right? So what are the, in the CSV file, what are the phone number which we have specified? So in the output, what is the file? Now let's go to the hiring manager. Charan is 921, it is updated. Charan record is created. And similarly, Srivalli record is updated here. This one. Records 921. Now click on this. Now the record is updated 345. 9:21 AM, 9:21 AM. So what it has done is it has created the 2 records of Srivalli. Because this ID, whatever the ID which we have provided it is not right. The ID which we have provided is not right. Let's do one more time. Go to the result. File is there. Open that success file. Now this is a success file. Click on the expand. This and delete this. Update the contact number just to cross verify this 000. Let's say all 5, and here also I'm going to update all the 3. Now I'm going to create a one person name is, let's say, Gagan, and let's save this record. Save as. Inside the output. This is the account or hiring manager update. Hiring update. Click on save. Yes, now let's close that CSV file. On this data loader, let's close this. Okay. Again, I'm doing the Upsert. Now this time hiring manager. Choose the file. Hiring. Upsert. Click on open. Click on the next button. Again, click on OK. Now I wanted to go with ID. Click on the next button. Auto match Similarly, I wanted to map the ID also. Click on OK. Right, ID also mapped. Everything is I have mapped it. Click on the next button and then finish. Yes, total 3 records. 2 records are insert. One record is insert. 2 records are update. Total 3 records. 2 records are update. 1 record is created. Now let's go ahead and check the hiring manager. Click on here all. Select the fields to display. I wanted to see last modified date. Click on OK. Now, perfect. Now let's click on the created date. Now here is the 3 records, right? So this is 16/7 and 16/7, 16/7, 16/7, right? So what are the record is available now? 9/21. Now this record has to be updated. It is created on 9/21 and updated at 9/26. Created at 9/21, updated at 9/26. Now the other is created just now. Right? 2 records are updated, 1 record is created. 2 records are updated and the 1 record is created. So which is clearly says here. Total we have inserted the 3 records. In these 3 records, these 2 records are updated and this record is created. Right? In the mapping, before what happened is in the mapping we did not provide the ID. So that's the reason it was not updating the existing record. Any questions on the update, insert, export? Now let's assume that I wanted to delete 1 record. I wanted to have a delete. Assume that I wanted to delete the record. Let's say I have a success file. Open this. Now, the first record which we have created, Srivalli, that record I wanted to delete it. This record I wanted to delete it. Now click on this file, save as, output. Now I wanted to delete this hiring underscore delete. Hiring underscore delete. Let's go ahead and delete the Srivalli record, where the phone number is 433. It starts with 43. On that record, I wanted to save it. I wanted to delete it. So the record which is having a Srivalli, phone number starts with 4. I wanted to delete that record. Let's go ahead here, click on the delete button. And I'm selecting the hiring manager, browse it, choose the hiring delete. Click on the next button, OK. Now I'm going to create the existing mapping. Choose the existing mapping. Now I have an existing mapping which is available hiring manager. Click on this hiring manager, click on open. Right, only location. Yeah, these are the information we have in the existing mapping. ID is not there. So let's click on this create or edit. Let's say ID also, let's match it, ID. Click on OK. And then next. This is the result. I'm going to store it. Click on the finish method. Click on yes. It says that the record allowed in your recycle bin is limited. Are you sure you wanted to delete it? Yes, I wanted to delete it. It says error. View the errors. Now I got the error here. Now what is the error here? Invalids. The delete batch must contains the only ID. It should not contain any other information. It should not contain any other information. I got the error. Let me show you the error here also in the result. Right, so there is an error file. In the error file says that whatever you are deleting deleting record only contains the ID. It should not contain any other fields. It should not contain any other fields. So this is the error. So let's go ahead and update that file. Hiring delete. Records are in these columns. Click on delete. Now this is the ID. Let's save this. I only have an ID. Let's say hiring delete. On save. Yes. Now let's go to the data loader. I'm going to delete the record. Which object record? Hiring manager object record. Choose the file. I need to choose the hiring delete. Click on open. Next. Yes. And I need to choose only the ID. I'm going to drag the ID. Match. Click on OK. Next. And the output is going to store it into the result. Click on the finish. Yes, I wanted to proceed it. Yes. This is about the recycle bin. It is asking that. Click on yes. Record is successful. 0 errors. Now if I go to the, let's go ahead and see, get this ID. Copy this ID. Whatever the one which we have deleted, I'm going to delete that ID and copying it. Let's go to here, record, let's paste the ID. It says that looks like there is a problem. That means the record is already deleted. Now I will not see the Srivalli record duplicates. Before it was having a 2 times Srivalli, but there is a only one record with the name of Srivalli. Right, if I go to the recycle bin, in the recycle bin, I have a record called hiring Srivalli. There is a record called Srivalli is available. Now if I again restore this, now I can see 2 records. Today only it is 9:32 a.m. Hiring manager. Records are there. That's about the X delete. If I say hard delete, there is another one which is called as a hard delete. What is this hard delete? Let's see. Hard delete is going to say you need the bulk API hard delete user permission permanently delete the record. It is going to permanently delete the record. File, hiring delete. Let's delete the Srivalli record. Click on the next button. Click on OK. And then click on the next button. Now let's say here, let's give it, I understand, let me finish it. So we are totally fine deleting that record, click on the finish. Yes. Need a bulk API hard delete user permission to permanently delete the record. Now what it is saying that you need a bulk API hard delete user permission. Settings, click on this bulk API. The settings. Setup. Now let's go to the users. Click on these users. Now let's go to my user is Raj. This is the one. Right, in the user level, do we have a bulk API? Bulk API is not there. API is only available here. Right, so let's save this, click on OK. Now let's try again. It's disconnected. Let's click on login. Hiring manager, browse. Click on the next button. Current API usage for this org is 117. Okay. Create edit map, auto map. Click on OK. Click on the next button. Okay, I understand. Let's click on finish. Yes. You need the bulk API hard limit user permission. We have step one more time. Click on this. Setup. Now we are already in the setup. Now in this setup, let's go to the file. Whatever this profile is there, let's check in the profile. Setting permissions. I have bulk API. Right, in the system permission, I have a bulk API. Let's click on this edit. administrator. One thing, I'll create it. Take a copy of this profile. Let's clone this profile. As it is, I'm cloning it. Let's say this is a system admin. System admin. Click on save. Let's select the system admin permissions, system permissions. Let's click on edit. Now I'll enable the bulk API hard delete. Click on save. Save. I'm updating the profile. I have created the new profile, which is called as a system admin. System admin. Now I'm going to update my user profile. April batch. Yes, I'm going to change it. System admin on assigned users. And then I'm going to create it. For creating a new user, I wanted to update the profile. Create a new user here. We don't have a Salesforce license. Salesforce license, we have already used it. Profile, Tata Sales Admin. Okay. Now I have a instead of creating that, what I'll do is let's go to the permission set. I'm trying to find a different options instead of creating a user. What is the other way which we can do it? So we have a few permission set. Basically, the problem is the FL batch user does not have a access to do the hard delete. This user does not have a access to do the hard delete option. Now, why this person does not have it? Because the system administrator, what are the system administrator is there? System administrator, if you go to the system permissions, system permission. Inside this system permission, bulk API. Bulk API is disabled. That's the reason the person is not able to do the hard delete. Whenever we are doing the hard delete, it is going to check that does this user has a bulk API hard delete is enabled or not. If it is not enabled, then it is not going to allow you to delete it. Now, system admin cannot edit the profile. We cannot edit the standard profile. We cannot edit the standard profile. So I have created the another profile, but if I create another profile, I need to create another user, lot of steps that I need to do it. So what is the alternate option that I'm looking at? So we have a permission set. So the permission set is, I have already the app permission set. Let's take the app permission set. This is a custom one. In the app permission set, let's see if I can enable the system permissions. Let's edit. Now here I have a bulk API. Bulk API hard delete. Now click on save. Now app permission set has that option enabled. App permission set has that option enabled. Right? Now what I'll do is for that user, already profile is there. That profile does not have a bulk API option is not enabled. Now what I'll do is I'll go to the permission set and I have already assigned to the app permission set. App permission set is already assigned. Now this app permission set is already assigned. I'll click on the hard delete. Now let's see here. Better I'll log out and log in back. Log out. And again I'll log in. Click on the hard delete. Log in. Connected. Hello. Perfect. Now login is successful here. Verifying that login is successful and it is redirected to this. Let's go to the hiring manager. Browse. Let's delete the hiring report. Click on the next button. Perfect. Click on the next. Now create or edit map. Now drag it the ID. Click on OK. Click on the next button. Oh, yes, I can understand. Click on the finish. Yes. It is performing the delete operation. Now successfully is deleted. Successfully is deleted. Now if I go and check the Srivalli record, all hiring managers, Srivalli record is not available. Only one record is available. How about in the recycle bin? In recycle bin also it is not available. It is completely deleted. Even from the recycle bin it is deleted because it is a hard delete. So if you want to perform a hard delete, you need to have a option that is enabled in the either in the profile or a permission set. So what I have done is this user does not have it, that option is not enabled. If I go to the April batch is having a profile. For that profile, if I go to the system permissions, there is an option called system permissions. If I go to the system permissions, I go to the system permissions. Inside the system permissions, we have an option called bulk API hard delete. Bulk API hard delete. So this is the option which is disabled. Now, instead of creating another profile, what I have done is I have used the permission set. Inside the permission set, I have enabled that option and I have assigned that permission set to this user. Right? So what are the profile level basic things are there? If I wanted to override, I can use a permission set. So instead of creating the profile, what I have done is I have created the permission set and I have assigned that particular checkbox is enabled and I have assigned the permission set to the user. Now I logged out from the data loader and logged in back. Now the person is able to do it. That's all for data loader. And after this workbench, we will see next week.